everyone. Welcome to Adventures in TV Land. This is going to be a little bit different video. Decided since it is the recording of this right now, it is Saturday, January 24th, 2026. There is a winter storm that is coming across most of the lower 48 states in the United States. I think on the West Coast and a few places they will be avoiding it. But, there's going to supposedly, if things turn out the way they are talking about, we will have the lowest temperatures for the time period for over 20 years. Like for the next, where I live, northeast of St. Louis in southern Illinois, for the next 10 days, basically, well, not 9 days now, the high temperature is only expected to be in the teens. There's one day it might get into the 20s, perhaps, but right now they're projecting the high will only be in the teens, the lows in the single digits, and sub-zero temperatures. That's without any wind chill factor. That's for a straight 9 days. It's been a long time since we've had that long and that cold of a stretch here where I live. I believe they said, I was listening on the radio and the local news, I don't know the exact time frame, but it's been about 20 years or more since this has happened expected to happen. So it's just not good at all. I decided I'm just going to kind of record things a little bit. Snow here has not yet fallen. It's not expected to start until later today. Midday, I guess, is when the snow is supposed to start. When things are all done and said, by tomorrow evening, we are expected to get somewhere between 4 to 14 inches of snow. They don't really know. The stretch I live in, they're not for sure exactly. I'm not sure if we're going to get more snow, get less snow, maybe get some ice. They don't really know right now. They've got all these models and projections, but it's a weird thing because there's really actually not one, but kind of two storm fronts. Anyway, just to show you something right now of how cold it is. Of course, I'm sure many of you watching out there are from places a lot colder, but it is 9:20 a.m. and it is 3 degrees. 3 degrees. When I woke up this morning, the temperature was 0. So it has risen 3 degrees since about 7:30. So in about almost 2 hours, it's risen 3 degrees. It's not going to get much warmer today, really. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. Just documenting this winter snow, this winter storm, the winter snowpocalypse, as they're calling it out east. I've seen a lot of people talk about. Grocery stores have been crazy. There's no bread anywhere or milk, hardly. No eggs. Everybody's making French toast. I never did understand, why do people go out when there's a snowstorm? They buy all the bread and milk and eggs. I mean, why? I mean, don't you have enough normally? I mean, if you stockpile it, it's not going to last any longer. Why would you buy more? I don't get it. Anyway. All right, it is now 4 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Time. It has been snowing here roughly for about 3 hours. And it started very light snow. It was very light. Barely was covering the ground. It almost looked like it was going to stop for a bit. But then now, the last hour or so, it has just been coming down, and it's coming down. And so I thought about just walking around to show you walking around, but I need to get my vehicle driving and around. So hopefully, if I need to get out by chance tomorrow, and hopefully Monday to get to work, I will be able to. It's still up in the air depending on how this thing goes. But anyway, so I figured I'll just drive around and show you a little bit of the snow as we're driving around. That is just a look at how things are right now. About 3 hours into the snow part of the storm. Now this part of the storm is supposed to, my understanding is it's supposed to stop later on this evening. There'll be a short reprieve, but then early tomorrow morning there is a second snowstorm, a second part of the storm that will be coming in. And that's where things are all kind of crazy right now, because at least where I live, they're not for sure if it's going to be like, this snow isn't too bad. It's just that very light, very fine snow. It actually, after it stops falling, it's fairly easy to get off the roads. When it's initially falling and there's nothing being done, I mean, it can blow back in. I mean, there's high winds, things like that. But in terms of keeping it off the roads and driveways and sidewalks, quite easy. The next front, though, might be the heavier stuff, and that's the worst stuff, because that stuff's kind of a mess when it comes down. Then when it freezes, it creates an even larger mess, a bigger mess, a lot more problems. So really tomorrow is going to be the big day of all of this snowpocalypse, snowmageddon 2026 USA. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else onto this video. We'll see. Maybe I will. We'll see maybe tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to stop. I thank you for watching. Until next time, that's a wrap.